Breaking news, up and down the country, there are patriot Brits out in numbers and chanting, "We will not surrender, we are British."
We remember every stone beneath our feet, every name written into the soil. This is our home. It feels like the government is giving our land away, but we are not going away. This is our home, and we will not surrender. They can sneer at the flags in our windows tonight, mock the blood of the builders who stood here and died. But this land was not gifted by kings dressed in gold. It was carved out by hand in the freezing cold. From the cliffs of Dover to Yorkshire rain, generations carried Britain through fire and pain. And the ghosts of the brave still walk these streets in the thunder of boots and cathedral beats. Magna Carta still breathes in the backbone of men, a promise no tyrant could bury back then. That no ruler stands higher than law in this land. That freedom was written by trembling hands. Our fathers bled in the mud for this shore. So tell me what all of their sacrifice was for. To watch our own people afraid to speak free. No, that is not the Britain I see. We will not surrender. We are British. Our hearts still burn beneath the dark. You can wound the lion, bruise and scar him, but you will never stop his heart. This is our home, our blood, our history. These streets still carry our names, and if Britain falls, then where do we go? No, we will not walk away. Mothers hold daughters too close at night, checking their phones till the morning light, while young lads bleed beneath flickering lamps and other sirens screaming through council flats. And the papers spin lies while the people just cope, selling cheap words while we're losing hope. The suits in Westminster talk down to the crowd, then call us hateful for speaking aloud. Fabian smiles like cold machine eyes, dressed up in slogans and polished lies, turning neighbors to numbers, traditions to shame, trying to make us forget our own name. But we're tired now, tired to the bone of feeling like strangers inside our own home. Tired of silence, tired of fear, tired of pretending everything's fine here. Still the old pop sing under blackened sky, still St. George survives when the pressure rises, and every patriot heartbeat pounds like drums, warning the powerful we're not done. We will not surrender. We are British. Our hearts still burn beneath the dark. You can wound the lion, bruise and scar him, but you will never stop his heart. This is our home, our blood, our history. These streets still carry our names, and if Britain falls, then where do we go? No, we will not walk away. We will not surrender. We are British. You can tear down statues, but not memory. You can poison classrooms, but not family. You can sneer at faith, but not belief. And you will never break the spirit beneath our feet, because Britain is not parliament walls, not parties, not crowns, not televised calls. Britain is people who still stand tall, even when they try to make them crawl. So now hear the roar one kneeling just to survive. Don't apologize.
Hey, John. I know I covered this before, but there's been new developments in this.
For being alive, done watching our homeland fade into grey. While cowards tell us to look away no more. Because this island raised warriors from storms. We endure, we rebuild, we reform. And the fire inside us was never erased. It was sleeping beneath the ash all this time. Britain is ours and we're holding the line. With every church bell and every skyline. And if they ask where the British spirit has gone, tell them it's standing right here, holding on. We will not surrender. We are British. And the lion wakes tonight through every scar and every heartbreak. We are still prepared to fight for our children, for our fathers, for the land beneath the rain.
Really? Well, that's good, Tammy.
No matter how they try to break us, Britain will rise again. We will not surrender. We are British.
Facebook isn't liking me very much right now.
So raise the flag high in the cold night air. Hold your loved ones close and remember, home is worth fighting for.
Anyways, yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, sorry I wasn't on yesterday. I ended up doing masonry, and I was doing it until about 6 p.m. So I didn't my time, so I didn't get home until 6:30 or something like that. Anyways, the British thing, they released the body cam footage finally with a lot of pressure. So it's Britain's pretty upset. This Starmer, you should see a statement about this. It's pretty bad. But I'm going to play the rally. This was live and they cut it off, so before the end it'll go black. And Tusi had his stuff blocked there too. They're blocking a lot of this getting out in Britain, but we're seeing it in other areas of the world, like here. So I'm going to play some of the rally and then some other clips, okay? Including that body cam footage. One of the British cops, they were all females, was laughing at him after the stabbing. Couldn't believe that, because the guy called him a racist because he was white, that it could be that he was stabbed. Then he was stabbed trying to get away from the guy stabbing him. He was trying to climb a fence or something to get out of there. Not just once, 5 times. I think I have
I've been asked by GB News that I've got to be by their reporter by 6 o'clock. So I don't know if I quickly nip off. And I think the second person he was going to interview was great. Let me go
I'm going to hit the video, then I'm coming to the minister. That's what I mean with you.
The biggest glitch, Jamie, I wish they would fix is if, like, say, Facebook knocks me off, but I'm streaming to the other ones, and it tends to knock me off of everything. And that's the biggest glitch. I wish they would fix that. Okay, Tim. Oh, John. Tammy, one of them resigned today because of the pressure today. After you see some of the body cam footage and some of the other stuff that isn't out there yet, I guess is even worse. They denied him treatment. they were worried about handcuffing him because he was called a racist. Because he was white, automatically he's racist. Anybody can be a racist. It's a matter of attitude, not a matter of color.
My dad's just holding it now.
Now the whole family took part of this. It's the brother, the mother who went and hid the hot knife that they supposedly have a religious right to, when no one else can have a knife. At least give the guy a fighting chance so he can have a knife to fight back, and then try to get away with it with the racist thing. And then the guy gets sentenced supposedly for life, but he's going to get 21 years, which will be shorter than that. He'll be kicked out, and the judge had to do it because the minimum sentencing for that. He gave him the minimum thing, and this and that. And the judge was totally against the guy that dies, against the guys that died family.
He keeps dropping side to side, so I'm just trying to keep him set up.
Right.
He's got a mouthful of blood. I don't want him.
He was on the bin on the other side of this gate.
He's jumped over these fences and stuff like that. And
Right.
he's up
Move
here.
away, mate.
He's obviously fallen
Right.
from there.
Yeah, he was trying to climb that fence to get out of there and quit being stabbed. That's why he was climbing the fence.
He slipped from there.
There's other shooters left over there, mate.
What's your name, mate? Huh?
He had been stabbed in the lung. He couldn't breathe. The blood was flooding into his lungs.
Has anyone been hurt other than him?
Yeah, me.
He's grabbed my brother. He's took my turban off. Started grabbing my head.
Are you injured?
Yeah, I've got swollen eye, little bruise.
Alright, just step back a little bit for me. Someone flag these down.
Swollen eye, he's the one that was attacking the other guy.
Got this stud.
Right, let's get you out of there, shall we? Oh.
I was in bed asleep. Whenever you find out, they left someone to touch me.
I can't breathe.
Grab his other arm. What's happened to you, alright?
This stud.
You've been stabbed? Whereabouts?
The other thing, Tammy, not just the cops being held accountable, but it turns out that the department that Stammer put in had a thing out there, a memo or whatever, and the training for these cops was to go for the illegals first, to go against, if you're a British patriot nationalist, to go against them immediately from the thing. All their training in that was that way.
Don't think you have, mate.
That's all going to come out.
That's what, and then you've got mouthful of. I'm going to keep you up.
Hand?
No, I can't breathe.
Put the hand in the cuff, mate.
This is like.
He's suffocating with blood in his lungs.
Times this has happened to us. We've been walking, we parked
Can we get a van for it?
90 foot.
Nothing happened.
There.
He's saying he's been stabbed, so
Where
let's
is it
just
you
check
think you've
him.
been stabbed?
Oh, let me show you the knife. This is a knife that they used. It's 8 inches. Stabbed him 5 times, all in vital areas. Stabbed 5 times, vital areas. Maybe I can blow that up just slightly. So, and over 911 is 999 there in the call. Let me bring the video back up.
In the face? Oh no, but we have to check, don't
He was
we?
attempting to stab him more
In the
than that.
face?
Just get these to back off, get their details and that, and I'll keep hold of him.
Should we?
Right, keep you on your side, mate. You had a retrieve then. Saying to him, keeping him on his side. We were set up when we had him here, but he didn't like it. What's your name, mate? At the moment, you are under arrest. That's for assault, so you do not have to say anything, mate.
Yep, it was 9 times in the video. You see that he's telling him that he had been stabbed. And the cops didn't believe him or whatever. One of them was laughing at him.
Common defence, if you do not mention one question, so to you later line of court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, alright? Gonna be sick, I think.
Well, it turns out they had a directive to take the illegal side as well. So hire people up. You should have seen Stammer's statement today. It was insane. Which column was here?
I just want you to call
And
it.
the judge too.
Yeah, we've got this male. He's just been beat up. Are we able to get an ambulance, please?
They want to get an ambulance for the one that got beat up supposedly by him. He said he had a mark on him. Probably defending himself.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Wendell Daniel, and welcome to Urban Scoop. And we're coming to you live outside of Southampton Central Police Station. What's your name, sir?
My name is Reverend Chris Wickland.
So, Reverend Thomas, what is your view on what you saw on that video yesterday?
What I saw on that video yesterday was basically someone being sacrificed on the altars of multiculturalism and political correctness. And that's why the people are here today. We're tired. We've had enough. We've had enough of liberal, progressive ideologies that have blinded the public, blinded the police. It's infested our political system, our police system, the NHS, our legal system. So much so that when they saw a man who was accused of racism, they thought that that was the greatest crime, weren't using their instincts or their own eyes to see the travesty that was going on right in front of them of an innocent man being stabbed and dying.
Do you believe the police officers who neglected their duty in taking care, do you believe that they should be prosecuted or even face disciplinary action for failing in their duties?
Absolutely. I think this is what I would call professional misconduct. This is gross misconduct. Again, police following an ideology rather than using their own instincts and their own eyes. They should have seen from a professional point of view that something was wrong, something didn't add up. And for someone to say, I can't breathe, someone stabbed me, and for the police officer to say, yeah, not likely, mate, is completely repugnant, reprehensible.
Yeah, not likely, and laughs at him.
And I cannot believe that I'm seeing this kind of policing on British soil. We're tired of white people being brushed under the carpet in the name of multiculturalism, diversity, inclusivity. We have a Pakistani Muslim rape gang crisis that's going on in their nation, and nobody wants to deal with it because of this political correctness. And I think the general public have now had enough of it.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
So, AY,
yes, buddy.
You've decided to come down here today, and you are angry. Hundreds and hundreds of people on the streets here in Southampton are angry. Can you understand the anger?
I can fully understand the anger. I watched that video last night. I'd only watched it once, and I'll never watch it again. You know, watching it once was enough for me. And
they are.
The goosebumps and the things that go, it's horrible, it's wrong, it shouldn't be happening.
Colin, there's some that are saying that there's directives that came from Stammer down to the other offices to take the side of the illegals in every one of these racist cases. Every time.
You know, like, it just goes to show you exactly what they think of white British people, or just white people in general in this country. Because when it comes to somebody shouting something about us, then we're arrested instantly. But some poor lad was dying on the floor, and he was getting read his rights. Yeah, and all because somebody could scream racism. It's absolute shocking.
Excellent. We'll catch up later on, but let's get some speeches.
Yeah, I seen that, Agatha. Supposedly the Sikh family, whatever, from India, is apologizing today.
Oh, there's thousands of people coming here. The crowd is getting bigger and Are you coming back? Yeah.
Now today, England cut this video off. They cut off Tusi's video today. They're trying not to allow this being seen in England. Hopefully this will get through to England. These videos aren't being seen in England. We're seeing it here, but they're not being seen there. Somehow the government has a way of stopping them and blocking them and getting YouTube and all the other platforms to take it off. Thankfully, Rumble's letting it go through no matter what England says. Well, the main cop there had resigned today. I don't think it absolves her from this whole thing.
Excuse me, let me get in. Excuse me, let me get in. Can I get in there? Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh. You're welcome. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, my darling. Yeah. Wendell, to the steps. Yeah. Come on, man. Wendell, go to the steps. Yeah. They won't let you go on the steps. Yeah, they will. Yeah, we will. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. We're going up there. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank the police. We're coming up here. Don't worry about the police.
Guys, over on that. Well, John, when I make up the event, I share the link and say I'm going to go live at such and such a time. So the link is there in Wimpkin, but I can't stream to Wimpkin yet. It hasn't changed yet, John. So. Facebook's the one giving me trouble lately. I did something on the election fraud, and they came down on me on that.
Give him some questions. Oh, that way, get the camera. Can I ask? So you was in the court case all week. Was you in the court case?
I was in the court case at the end. I watched the family. The family were hugely distressed, right? I've never seen a courtroom so welled up. There wasn't a person in that courtroom who had tear in their eye. The emotions were just off the scale, right?
Did Henry have an injury on his face?
He did. Apparently had an injury from his ear to his lip. The police couldn't see that. They chose not to see that.
And they showed none of the videos were shown, were they, in court?
They limited what they showed. Right.
Where are you from? Where are you from, mate? Where are you from?
Southampton.
What's the local feeling about this?
Ladies and gentlemen,
look at it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
just have a look
don't push up the stairs. We're going to get Tommy up to say a few words in a minute. We're here because we want to get justice for Henry. Henry has been betrayed by the police in this town. We're taking this down, and we're going to do it peacefully, and we're going to do it legally. Justice for Henry. Justice for Henry. Justice for Henry. Justice for Henry. Justice for Henry.
Somebody, Demo, he's not talking. Let the lads demo Craig, I understand. Where's the camera? You're one of the organisers of. You've been organising demos here for a while.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, for nearly a year now.
You've organised.
Yeah, yesterday's release.
Can I ask why it was important for you to organise people to come in tonight?
Because this is our city. This is, you know, the injustice has been shown. I've had it, you've had it. Everyone probably stood it. It's had to do the policing at some point. After yesterday's release of the footage, you clearly see how they treated the white boy. Would it be different if it was the other way around, Tommy?
Would you say growing up in Southampton, you've seen that two-tier policing yourself?
100%. Yeah, massively, and changed even more in the last 4 or 5 years.
Moment of silence for him. Now a little bit later, England cut this live off. They wouldn't let him show it live.
Shut up. Disrespectful.
With a massive round of applause for Henry Nowak.
Can I ask you, Craig, are you aware of the local politician? Who's the local politician here?
Which one? Labour?
Labour.
Yeah.
Who's in power here?
Yeah, Labour.
Has he made a comment?
Absolutely nothing. No one from Reform, nothing.
Not Reform ever made a comment.
None of them have come out. None of them are here. None of them at all have posted.
Oh, you should have seen. Hi, Marianne. You should have seen some of the comments on the floor of the House of Commons today from Labour. Unbelievable. They so believe this racist bull crap.
Our poster, all of our statements about it. None of the council.
Pretty much, he was a racist because he was white. That's it. He just is a racist because he's white.
care unless they want your vote at May the 7th, Tommy.
So not one single councillor, Reform or Labour, have come here tonight. Do you know?
Not that I know of, no. And I've reached out to all of them. I can show you the Instagram messages, X, everything.
And you had no response from any of them?
No response whatsoever, apart from being called a racist from the Labour councillor.
Yeah, of course. Not just Richard, for the whole of our country.
Well, fair play for organising that.
You don't see any of them taking a knee now.
Our streets just ain't safe, right? Our streets just ain't safe, right? Literally, it's been going on for a long time. Our city, like everyone else's city, is becoming unsafe, right? You can't allow kids out at night. You fear whether your child goes out, whether he's going to come home. I'm fighting for my grandson. I'm fighting for everyone else's grandchildren, and we should all stand together and we should get out here and do something. Knives, if you're going to have knives for a religion, level the playing field. Let our women carry pepper spray. Let our women defend themselves. Let ourselves defend ourselves. Otherwise, level the playing field. No one has nothing. One rule on this land. One law on this land. Not two laws. Two tier. Nothing.
Do you feel the police care?
They don't give a shit. Anti-white.
Yeah, Nigel Farage had a statement too. Yeah, Crystal, I guess the whole Labour Party was just calling all these people out here because they're protesting racist. That's it, because they were protesting against us.
Incredible turnout.
I hope the Labour Party goes away forever.
We might have two, but we can't have one. Yeah, you've got to have two. Anyone else?
We stand here today to say that all lives matter. We stand on the precipice of the end of our country. These people here.
John or anyone else in the chat, you think possibly this kind of stuff is going to trigger them to get their own country back? I mean, there's some other countries that are kicking out illegals and even people that recently came there if they don't become part of the culture.
They are complicit in the murder of a young boy only because he was white. That's the only reason.
I got some more clips. This will go to a black screen eventually because England cut off their stream.
They burned out our cities when George Floyd was killed, and we have 10 years of Stephen Lawrence. This is a young white boy murdered, complicit by these people, and your fury should be absolutely justified. Fuck the police!
We got a little bit of this, but that's...
Go to AY's channel. Go to AY's channel. It's so many better. I'll cut it. I've seen it. I'll leave it at that. I feel it's important as a religion to stand up for truth, and justice, and that we're tired of seeing our children being slaughtered on the altars of political correctness and multiculturalism.
Why do you think the police handcuffed Henry?
Because I think the problem that we've got in society at the moment is this progressive ideology that seems to be very anti the white person, pro-anti-racist ideology that's blinded the police, that when they saw a man clearly in distress, that they were more interested in their doctrinal understanding of what's going on, that he must surely be a racist, and gave him no help. We saw a man die. The people here are angry. I'm angry. We're tired of seeing this time and time again in our nation. We're seeing our young people.
He also asked several times for help. He wanted help. And they call an ambulance for the guy that stabbed him.
being sacrificed on these altars. We're tired of seeing these things being brushed under the carpet. So, for example, with the Pakistani Muslim rape gangs, again, because it's politically incorrect to talk about these things, we're not allowed to talk about these things. And the British public are getting tired, we're getting angry, we're getting fed up. And that's why I feel here as a pastor that I need to represent Christianity, and that Christianity as a religion stands up for truth and righteousness. And what we're seeing in our nation at this time is anything but.
What's the difference between yourself and the leaders of the Church of England then? Because the leaders of the Church of England would not be saying what you're saying. They're saying the total opposite. They've created the environment.
To be interviewed, okay.
Again, what we're seeing, this progressive mindset has infiltrated our political system, our education system, and unfortunately it's also infiltrated into the church. And so there's a lot of Christians that believe that this new form of liberalism is Christianity. It has as the scripture saying, having a form of godliness but denying the power. So it looks like it's righteous, it looks like it's virtuous, but unfortunately it's anything but. And it's not about equality, it is about equity, which means that other people get higher rights than other people get.
It actually says equity on the police's government website. It says equity, not equity.
That's right, yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, for example,
why is that important? That word inequity, which is on their police government, I read it this morning. It's on the police government website for all of the police. It talks about equity. Why is that important, that word?
So, for example,
this was live a few hours ago.
I'm a parent, so I have different rights under the law than my son does, for example. But with the modern day equity, it's almost like, no, we want to make you equal, so you have equal rights, even though you shouldn't have equal rights. And so when it comes to the issue of
equal chance, not equal outcome.
Racism, we're seeing that other minorities are being elevated way beyond anyone else, so that they get what we call greater justice than those that I'm kind of losing it because of the noise here. But essentially, other people are getting greater rights than we are. Yeah,
they're elevating minorities have more rights than us, as a majority.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is not communism.
Yes, exactly. And it's not actually the real meaning of the word equity. Equity is about justice and integrity. That's what it should mean, as in Bible. So when we're talking about integrity and equity, we're talking about a good thing. But the modern day progressive left have turned it into something where it's about the people that are equal are whom they determine to be equal.
Where have you travelled from, say?
So I'm based in Fareham, which is about 20 miles away from here, but I'm currently on holiday in Devon. So I've driven back from Devon to be here today because I feel this is really important.
This is very important.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing the one on Paris, but I had other subjects and I didn't get home yesterday to do anything on Paris. Paris is the soccer game started the thing, after the soccer game was over, but then all the illegals took over the protest. Then they started burning and trashing things.
Can we get some of these?
They sure like burning people's cars. That's a lot of property and damage they're doing.
Banners.
See this guy?
Henry's blood, your hands. There's another great one there. I can't breathe, I can't breathe. I've been stabbed, I've been stabbed. You see the one there? We'll zoom in on them.
Our nation
on the homemade banners.
Has been invaded by people who care nothing for us, nothing for this country. Many of them bow down to the sun.
For your lungs to be filled with blood, you had to get the knife between the ribs. You had to get the knife between the ribs to have your lungs bleeding out like that.
The Christian nation. I want to introduce my good friend and pastor, my brother in Christ, Pastor Chris Wickland.
One of the reasons why I'm here today.
Yeah, I'm going to show Stammer's statement today.
It's the same with you good people, is that we're tired of our children being sacrificed on the altars of political correctness and multiculturalism. And when we saw that footage yesterday, it just highlighted that our systems, our police systems, our legal systems, our political system, our educational system seems to be infested with this cultural Marxist narrative that somehow that an English white man with a flag is somehow the enemy of the state and everyone else isn't. And we're seeing this lack of equality in our nation. And that's one of the reasons why I'm standing here. But one of the things that I want to say today is I want to say to our Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, we have two demands for you. The first demand is that you bend the knee and take a photograph of it, put it on X, put it on Facebook, put it on social media, because you bowed the knee to a criminal, now bow the knee for a righteous man who died needlessly. And the second thing we want you to do is to apologise to the Nowak family and apologise to the British people for gaslighting them, for telling them that they're racist, for telling them that having some sense of national pride is wrong and demeaning. We are tired of it, we've had enough of it, and we're here today to stand with the Nowak family. We're here today to stand with the cause of righteousness, truth, and true equality.
Yeah, you know what Starmer's going to do about this? Bring some more illegals in.
I just want to end right now because as a nation we are divided. Because you see, this isn't about race. The media are trying to make it about race, but it's not. This is about progressive ideologies that's infested our nation.
I wish I could make that anchor emoji. Maybe I'll try it over on the other platform.
And so I want us now, as one people, as one body, to pray the Lord's Prayer together. So here I go. Let's all pray together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins.
Okay, thanks, John.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Bless you. Bless you. Christ is King! 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 Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something. The only way that we're going to win this nation back is through truth and righteousness. We're not going to win it back through violence and blood on the streets. We're going to win it back.
What I was saying, Colin, is what's Starmer going to do? Is he just going to bring in more illegals? Is he going to do anything to fix this?
By mass people power, by you, the real people of Southampton, standing peacefully. I want to tell you something. I can't express the anger I got towards that police officer that brutalised Henry Nowak. But there's no way that getting violent is going to solve anything on that. We need political change, we need social change, and we need cultural change, and that's what we're here for. Can everyone move down the stairs so we can have a bit of space for Nick, please?
Yeah, Colin, it is all part of, if they're a globalist and they're in government, that's their plan, to destroy the countries. Because they want one world government. Because they believe they can control it.
Everyone that's turned up today, can I just give you all a big thank you? Big round of applause for everyone. Can I ask one big favour, please? It's just getting very, very cramped at the front. Can everyone take 2 steps back out onto the road, please? We're really getting cramped up here. We just need to get a little bit of room. We can move around slightly. We're not going anywhere. We can't go back anywhere because the 2 tier police right now. No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! I can see loads of you out there not singing. You made the effort to come here and support us today. This is your victory. No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! Racist police off my street! Racist police! Racist police! Racist police! Racist police! Racist police! Yes, Thomas away! 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 That's enough chanting for a minute before I get arrested for party work. We've got a few people saying some things today. I've got a few things to say. I won't bore you at the moment. Obviously, Chris has been on the mic. Nick Tenkoni stood there. He's got a few things to say.
Tommy, cheers for coming today, mate. Cheers for coming. Appreciate it. They're going to aggravate these guys. We're all going on. Just barge around me like me, yeah. You've got to tell them something.
Now, can we move back, please? We need to come down off the steps. These police are pushing us down off the steps. Can we please move back? Please move back. What exactly do you have to do? I'm trying to ask people to move back. What do you have to do? Are you going to injure someone again by pushing them down the steps? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you going to push us down? Are you going to push us down the stairs?
That's a good one.
Are you going to handcuff us first and push us down the stairs?
They say if they had gotten help immediately, they might have been able to get a tube down there and gotten the blood out of his lungs. He basically suffocated from his own blood.
And then they swapped the men for a women police officer. Fucking unbelievable.
And holding them down and handcuffing them made the situation even worse.
Fucking male police officers for little female police officers. They got no bullets. Unbelievable. Where's the bullets gone about this?
Yeah, he was a danger because of the hurty word he said, right? Which he didn't say.
Yes, I know. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he might be drowning. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, John. John, you're right. He drowned in his own blood. More than one of the stabs wounds went into his lungs. Now, somewhere around here is where the government cut off all the live streams.
Citizens of Southampton. For those of you who don't know, my name is Nick Tenkoni. I'm the leader of UKIP.
Now, I guess the one that stabbed him has a record, but they just slapped him on the wrist and let him right back out.
I am pledging to begin mass deportations and to reinstate Christianity back into the heart of government. I have always stood with you at street level. I will always stand with you at street level. First Patriots, please join me in prayer as we say in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. This is for Henry. It is for Henry, Patriots.
How come they're not burning things down like a lot of illegals do when they do this stuff? Burning things, trashing people's cars.
I want to thank Craig and all of his team, Southampton Patriots, and the citizens of Southampton. The man stood to my right is Craig. Give him all a round of applause.
After the Manchester attack, when the Muslim community...
That's what they do on the left.
He went to the police station in Rochdale. There was no police outside. They all hid inside. Yeah, here they are outside here. They hid inside. Whereas that's the difference. That's the difference. Just that is the difference in policing. The police weren't there. When the Muslims come to the police station, they hid inside. They locked the doors. Here they are lined up pushing people.
And you are showing up to ask for justice from Hampshire Constabulary. For Henry Nowak and Charles Gannon.
Yeah, but that 21 years, Colin, I hear he can get out in about 8. He'll be out in 8 years. And then he can do it again.
He was on the bin on the other side of this gate. He's jumped over these fences and stuff like that. And he's up here.
Away, mate.
He's obviously fallen from there and he slipped from there. There's other shoes left over there, mate.
What's your name?
And it was the minimum. The minimum there was what he had to give him. So he could have given him more years, but that judge let him off as easy as he could possibly do it.
Mate. Huh? Has anyone been hurt other than him?
Yeah, me. He's grabbed my brother. He's took my turban off. Started grabbing my head.
Are you injured?
Yeah, I've got swollen eye, little bruises.
Alright, just step back a little bit for me. Someone flag these down. Right, let's get you out of there, shall we?
I was in bed asleep. Whenever you find out,
grab his other arm.
And the family that took the knife and lied and put all that kind of crap, they need to do a little jail time for a few months at least.
What's happened to you, right?
Been stabbed.
You've been stabbed? Whereabouts? Don't think you have, mate.
They're not checking him. They're handcuffing him.
Hand?
I can't breathe.
Put the hand
Part of the reason you're not seeing that much blood is because it's going into his lungs.
in the cuff, mate.
Yeah.
This is like
can't breathe.
times this has happened to us. We've been walking, we parked multiple times we've had people racist attacks, nothing happened.
He's saying he's been stabbed, so
Where
let's
is it
just
you
check
think you've
him.
been stabbed? In the face? Oh no, but we have to check, don't we?
Right.
In the face?
Just get these back off, get their details and that, and I'll keep hold of him.
Should we...
Right, keep you on your side, mate. You better retrieve then. Saying to him, keeping him on his side. We were set up when we had him here, but he didn't like it.
I'm hoping this is not our future here in America.
Yeah. What's your name, mate? At the moment, you are under arrest. That's for assault, so you do not have to say anything, may harm in defence. If you do not mention one question, someone will talk to you later line of court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, alright? You'll be sick, I think.
his name?
I just want you to call it.
Yeah, we've got this male. He's been beat up. Are we able to get an ambulance, please?
And the ambulance...
His pupils aren't even reacting.
For the one that got beat up, supposedly.
Yeah.
Self-defense. Oh, he was playing that for the crowd. I know we've seen that.
Pathologist found 1,200 millilitres, 2 pints of blood in his chest cavity.
Now they covered this whole thing up for months. The public didn't know of it.
We are not just here because of one murder. The reality is that after stabbing Henry, Digwa, his family, and the first responding officers could all have potentially saved Henry's life. We will now never know what 3 minutes could have meant for saving Henry. I repeat, we are not here now just because of one murder. We are here because there is an ideology in the hearts and minds of...
Most say that he could have survived if he'd gotten help right away. You know, they had to put a tube in to drain his lungs.
Millions in Britain, in policymakers, in the minds of people in positions of power. That ideology is Marxism, dressed up as equality, dressed up as fairness, dressed up as inclusion, dressed up as tolerance, dressed up as freedom. I believe a racist saw a chance to kill a white man and claim victimhood afterwards. I believe Digwa's mindset is representative of perhaps millions of non-whites across the world who have been indoctrinated to this left-wing terrorism. The crime wasn't a crime of passion.
Colin, if you get a chance, go back and watch the beginning. I had a really good opening.
It was not a crime of profit, nor was it self-defense. It was a crime of hatred and bigotry. This is what...
Yeah, they chased after him. They chased after him and stabbed him.
I'm here today, patriots, to say what the crooks
for dinner,
and villains in Parliament,
my wife does that
the
too.
Progressives in the mainstream media, what they won't tell you what really happened. Digwa, armed with intent, saw the chance to kill a white man, and when he plunged that blade into Henry's chest, in his mind he thought, I will get away with this. It's self-defense against a white supremacist. White racist, a white bigot. That's what happened, and that's why Henry's dead.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Leftover pizza. Yeah, we have some. Weight-wise, I don't like to eat those pizza rolls.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
I, patriots, I will continue to describe the situation out loud. The progressive agenda is left-wing. The victimhood brigade are left-wing. The progressives, socialists, Marxists, and the communists, they are all left-wing. The ideology behind the hatred, behind the division, behind
Islam and the socialists are teaming together.
Racism is left-wing. Digwa's attempt to lie and to deceive stink of diversity, inclusion, equality, and anti-white training. Left-wing dogma kills. The arresting officers of Henry Nowak, God rest his soul, believed persecuting him as he lay dying was more important than saving him because he wasn't an ethnic or religious minority. It was more important to believe an ethnic and religious minority than to save his life. Left-wing ideology, patriots, kills. The Manchester Airport scumbags, they deployed potentially lethal violence against resisting officers because they believed they had brown and religious privilege. A serving Labour councillor, Ricky Jones, called for patriots' throats to be slit, dehumanising them by calling them fascists. Anyone with a differing view to the extremist Socialist Worker Party front, stand up to racism, gets labelled a Nazi in an effort to incite violence onto them. Charlie Kirk was murdered because he's conservative and promoted free and fair debate. The arresting officers of Henry Nowak believed persecuting him was more important than saving him because he was white and therefore a liar.
Let's go! Let's go! No justice! No peace! 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 No justice! No peace!
How soon can they get the Labour Party out of there, Colin?
Hey, Patriots, I don't think the image of watching the arresting officer drag Henry along that gravel whilst he begged for help will ever leave my thoughts. Left-wing socialists and Marxist cultural dogma encourages and promotes racial division and violence. The period we have now entered into is the final stage of the communist long march through the institutions, where the hard left have infiltrated the cowardly liberal establishment and have subsequently endorsed and promoted left-wing dogmas like BLM, CRT, DIE, decolonisation, intersectionality, under the pretense of freedom, rights, choice. Consequently, we have less freedoms, less rights, and less choice, Patriots. We will indeed overcome, but Patriots, the fight has just begun. Liberalism is the religion and political ideology of cowards. We can defeat it by confronting them directly and calling them out. Peace is not the absence of violence, it is the presence of justice. I say no justice, you say no peace. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. We are here today to demand the first responding officers are brought to justice, and I will tell you why I am here, Patriots. I am here to fight to bring an end to woke policing, DIE policies, and to rip out the toxic, poisonous, insidious Marxist agenda in our institutions throughout Britain and throughout the hearts and minds of cultural liberals and socialists. We are not just here because of one murder. We are demanding justice. Enough is enough. We want our country back. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. The dead remember our indifference, and the dead remember our silence. I put it to you, Patriots, that there are two crimes here. One is left-wing racism, left-wing hatred, and left-wing bigotry. That caused the death of Henry. And two, that
left-wingers hate themselves.
Left-wing authoritarian-inspired policy and policing sealed Henry's fate. I put it to you that communism kills, left-wing ideas kill. Let us now remember our demands. Hampshire police must now sack and prosecute the arresting officers. Hampshire Constabulary must publicly admit full and reform the profiling of white men. Hampshire Constabulary must pay compensation to Henry's family. Hampshire Constabulary and the leadership must now publicly take the knee for Henry Nowak.
Yeah, why aren't they taking the knee? Oh, that's right, doesn't fit their narrative. Their narrative is to find a way to get more illegals in even faster and get them on the public dole because they'll be plantation voters for life several generations, actually.
Last but not least, Hampshire Constabulary's Chief Constable, Alexis Boone, must now resign.
But who will replace them?
Patriots, I say no justice, you say no peace. Don't ever forget, my brothers and sisters, this is not about one murder, because someone's daughter, someone's son, someone's mother, someone's father is next, because the motivations, the behaviour and the mindset is indoctrinated to left-wing radicalism, left-wing racism, left-wing bigotry, left-wing hatred, left-wing division. There's a reason why we say it at street level. I want the communists gone as well. It is Marxist ideology why we stand here, patriots. Never forget this is for Henry. Never forget this is for Henry's family. And never forget, patriots, this is for justice. Thank you. I say as a nation that we return back to the faith, and we open and close every time. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God bless you all.
Those in Brits should at least arm themselves with a knife.
Big round of applause for Nick Tinconi.
Maybe it could have been a fair fight. Yeah, that's true. The other thing, John, they'd normally be burning up the place and looting, right? I don't see any looting. I don't see them setting stuff on fire. Nothing like that. That's what happened after the Floyd stuff, right? They raided places and stole everything and burned it down. They also attacked other people and harmed them. They killed some.
So everyone, I've got Kelly J in front of me now. We're just trying to get her up a little bit higher so you can see her. She's just going to say a few words.
Big up, Kelly.
Good evening. I'm here as a mother of 3 sons, and I would like each and every one of them every night to come home alive and safe. I'm sick and tired of the two-tier policing in this country that see each and every one of us as guilty before we've ever even committed a crime. When the police come to my events, which is full of middle-aged white women, they decide that the men that come with violence against us are fully justified because they don't like what we say. And I want to tell all of you parents, you have to look at what your children are learning in school. Critical race theory is threaded through the curriculum. And you have the power to stop it. And only you. The politicians don't give a shit. They don't want to stop it because it gives power. So I'm just going to keep it short. I just want all of us, I want every single one of our children to come home and be safe in a country where the police genuinely have no fear or favour.
Give them a cuddle because Henry's parents can't do that, can they? Give them a big fucking hug before they go to bed.
Thank you.
Big up, Kelly! Big up! Or someone else.
So I'll hand you over to Aaron now. He's part of our admin team. It's not just about me. I'm just a name who put my face out there. But Aaron here, Carly there, Kirsty stood next to her as well. Them 3 help us massively. It's down to them. You're all here. Come up here. Come on. Aaron, Carly, Kirsty, come on up.
Big up, big up, big up.
There's also many more of you out in the crowd that turn up week in, week out for all of our events. Part of the Southampton Patriots, but Here on my far left is Carly. Everyone give Carly a big round of applause. Kirsty here, Aaron here, and I've been introduced already.
Look in the camera, bro. So tonight we stand together, heartbroken, angry, scared. We feel the weight of what has happened. We feel the pain, and we stand here for Henry Nowak with our hearts bleeding for the life lost and the families shattered. But even in our anger, we must hold the line. The anger must not spill into violence. Violence will only bring more heartbreak, more suffering, more excuses for those in power to silence us. We stand here because we demand change, real change. We demand better training for police officers, stronger accountability, a system that treats every victim with fairness and dignity. We stand here to say clearly justice must never be blocked, twisted, or delayed by anyone using identity as a shield. Every life matters. Every family deserves truth.
Well, I got more clips. I'm going to show you a little bit later. The screen went black. See? Stammer had it cut off. He had this cut off, and some of the other shows. I'm going to show you later. 2C show got cut off as well. There, they cut them all off. Anyone doing this out there, they cut them off in England, in Britain. So you can see it outside the country, but you can't see it there. So let me go on to another. I'm going to show you Stammer's statement about this. It was only 44 seconds long.
I think Nigel Farage's reaction is the wrong reaction. And I start my answer to your question through the eyes of the family. They have said they do not want this whipped up. They have been through the most extraordinary, awful experience. They don't want this whipped up. And Nigel Farage is completely wrong.
Oh, is it because people would go against you and try to kick your butt out of the job?
To use this to try and create division. He would be wrong in...
Stop shipping boatloads of illegals in and flying them in by plane.
Any circumstances.
Oh, and giving them all free stuff.
But when Henry's family are saying, please don't do that, it's our son, then really, as politicians, as human beings, we should start where they start. And that's where I start. And why?
All right, I'm going to bring in Nigel Farage's reply here. I have to find the right spot where it started. See his address. There we go.
Good morning. It's a moment to take a long, hard look at ourselves as a country and what we've become. The murder of 18-year-old student Henry Nowak was bad enough of itself.
18 years old, long life ahead of him.
But compounded in the most extraordinary way by the behaviour of the police officers. Many of us have asked for the footage to be released, and finally, last night it was. Let me show you just 30 seconds of what happened.
He kind of thinks that he could do anything.
On that fateful evening in Southampton.
Got this, Dad.
Right, let's get you out of there, shall we?
Tammy, my mom was Catholic, my dad was Lutheran.
Grab his other arm. What's happened to you, alright?
Been stabbed.
You've been stabbed? Whereabouts? Don't think you have, mate.
I guess there's a longer version as they come in and after he's dead, actually.
Right.
Just think of it. An 18-year-old lad, a student, been out with some friends for the evening.
They didn't even try to revive him.
On the way home, and victim of a sustained attack. Stabbed several times, chased down the street. Stabbed seriously 5 times. And what happens? Well, the assailant's brother rings the police to say, we've just been racially...
Well, part of the problem, Tammy, was he was stabbed in the ribs. And he was bleeding internally. And by the time they got to him, well, there was blood all over the place, too, and on him. The blood was on him. Most of his blood was already out of him and going into his lungs by then. So his blood pressure was really, really low by then.
Attacked and abused by a white guy. The sirens blare, they arrive. Young Henry must have thought that at last help was at hand, but far, far from it. The police act from the beginning to the end, and the end when he dies, lying on a pavement, having been stabbed in handcuffs. The last thing he heard on this earth was him being read his rights by the police. He was actually treated in a way,
because he was being arrested for hurty words,
that meant an accusation of a racial slur was treated more seriously than an act of murder. What does he say? I can't breathe. Familiar words? Remember career criminal George Floyd, who died in appalling circumstance.
and he could not breathe because he's overdosed on fentanyl. When he was getting arrested, he downed all the fentanyl he had.
In Midwest America a few years ago. Remember the reaction to that and the way the police behaved. Within a few days, Keir Starmer was taking the knee. Black Lives Matter exploded all over the country. Churchill's statue was defaced. The cenotaph was vandalized. And yet, what has...
I seen in another show, if they'd been able to get a tube down into his lungs, what they usually do is they go through the hole and suck out the lung. They could have pulled the blood out of the lung and he could have survived. But he needed treatment, like, immediately. They should have been taking him to the hospital.
The public reaction been from our leaders and politicians, and indeed, to be frank, much of the media to this? Silence. Absolute silence. Proof, if ever there was any, that we're living in a two-tier culture in this country where the rights and privileges of white people matter less than those of ethnic minorities. Now, what has happened over the last few decades is, without anybody being asked, without anybody ever voting for it, we've been subjected to mass immigration on a scale that is truly unbelievable. At least 10 million new people have come to Britain in the last 20 years. And let's be clear, many of them are great people who work hard, have integrated and made their life.
Not all of them, and there are a lot of them are, 90% of them are living on the taxpayer's dime.
Lives here. But far too many that have come have refused.
And you got to remember, they're having tons of kids
to integrate, are leading parallel lives, and leaving many of our cities almost culturally unrecognizable from what they've always been. But to stop any criticism of this, we brought in hate speech laws. We brought in a DEI agenda. We brought in what is called positive discrimination in favor of ethnic minorities over those of white people whose families have lived in Britain in many cases for centuries. That is the mess that we've got into.
Exactly,
and that is why, in some ways,
the fentanyl thing,
what happened, and despite the appalling behavior of those police officers, but in some ways, what happened on that night in Southampton perhaps shouldn't be a surprise.
There was blood all over the place,
two-tier Britain. Alison Pearson, journalist on the Daily Telegraph, received...
Guess he was also being chased by the brother as well.
Yesterday,
the two of them,
an email
wanted to kill him,
experienced,
he's white,
long-serving Hampshire police officer. In it, he makes perfectly clear that the police are told that they must respond to situations in different ways according to the ethnicity of those involved in the crime or potential crime. He also describes how a DEI agenda has gone so far through the police that people now get promoted, not on the basis of merit, not on the basis of ability, but on the basis of what their racial or religious origin.
And DEI hires are hiring other, and the policies are made DEI.
Origin is. That has led to a decline in policing standards. But think of this. Much as we may condemn the two police officers involved here, think of this. The biggest fear a police officer now has going about his or her duty on the street is the fear of being reported for having acted in a way that was racially biased. That fear, now greater than dealing with a dying man living on the ground. Henry's family.
The thing is, the government's been covering him up for several months too. This happened several months ago.
Have responded to this in just the most extraordinarily dignified way. But I suggest the rest of us respond to this with pure, cold rage. This is wrong. all the values and standards of living in a free country where everybody is judged equally before the law have been trashed.
To me, his statement's a lot better than Stammer's.
And thrown away. And there are one or two things that need to happen very quickly. The first is that the police complaints operation, the IOPC, needs to get to the bottom of this and produce a report very, very quickly. Secondly, even through to sentencing, the sentence given was actually lower than the recommended minimum for a sustained, aggressive, murderous assault. And I'll be writing today to the Attorney General asking him to review the sentence. But the most important thing that needs to change, that has to change, if our society is not to be ripped apart,
Hogwarts,
where communities start to distrust each other and deeply distrust the police and all the other institutions of this country, is we need a change in culture. Enough of anti-white prejudice. A promotion of the idea that white lives matter just...
Sadly, it started here in America, and it's going to get worse.
...as much as black lives. An end to DEI and positive discrimination, but a country that treats everybody equally and fairly before the law. This is serious. This is urgent. I fear where our society would be in a few short years if we don't grip this and do it very, very quickly. I want to send my sincerest condolences, the country's sincerest condolences to Henry's family. I hope this is the last time a British police force operates.
And the government tried to never let you know about it.
In this way. But the fish rots from the head down. It is up to government and police chiefs to change this culture and to start that process.
Amen on that.
Today.
Amen on that. 100%. I agree with that. All right, now they interviewed some of the teachers. Here's one here. Watch this racist teacher, a white teacher in England. Watch this. You won't believe it.
I'm against Islamic immigration. You don't know what you're talking. Why? Because 90% of the men who rape children in the UK in groups are Muslim men. It doesn't work. Where do you live? Where are you from in England?
In London.
Whereabouts?
South London.
Are you happy if your children? Are you happy if your children are the only non-Muslim in the class?
Yeah.
You are. Yeah. You're the fucking disease in our country.
I'm a teacher.
You're the problem. Okay. You're the problem. You have no idea. Where was you born?
In Kingston.
In Kingston. Kingston-on-Thames.
Yeah.
A very posh, nice area.
Yeah.
So you don't know anything.
I do.
What's the nearest mosque in Kingston-on-Thames?
There's one in Kingston.
No, how many are there?
There's one massive
one. There's 45 where I live.
Where do you live?
Luton. 45, where we're a minority.
What's wrong with that?
With the violence, the jihad. There's 40,000 Muslims on terror watch list. What have you got to say about them?
But there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with 40,000 Muslims on terror watch list.
No, but there's more British people on the terror watch list.
No, there's not. No, there's not. No, there's not. 94% of them are Muslim. So there's 40,000 Muslims on the terror watch list.
Okay.
What have you got to say about them?
But why don't you go and live in England, build it in England rather than live in Spain?
You don't know where I live. You're hiding in Tenerife. I'm hiding in Tenerife. This is Tenerife. You fucking moron.
No, not here.
You absolutely.
That's where you are, right?
No, it's not where I'm standing here.
But you're saying we're fucking morons. Like,
you don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't matter if you've got a degree. My degree's growing up in Luton. My degree is being minority. My degree is my cousin was raped by those fuckers. That's my degree. Yeah, that's my degree, but it's a fucking groups of Muslim men. That's my degree. Do you know how many girls I grew up with that got missing? You don't have a clue what you're talking about. You have no idea of the rape scandal in our country. There's 1,000 children in Telford alone. 1,000 children. 1,400 in Rotherham. In every single town and city, they've been raped and kidnapped. You come up to me.
It's not just by Muslims.
90% of the men convicted are Muslim. 90%, that's a fact. 30% are called Mohammed. No. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, so the name is the issue.
No, the religion is the issue. Don't know. That's why Muslim men make up 3% of the UK, 90% of the convictions. Why is that?
Because we've got an issue with the police being racist.
Oh my God. So it's the police being racist as to why the Muslims are getting convicted for raping children?
Yes.
See, and you're a school teacher, are you?
Yes, I am a school teacher.
How embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
You can't even do the numbers.
No,
can't even work the numbers.
It's not embarrassing.
Add the numbers.
I just care about minority groups of people.
You care about minority? What about the white English minority?
We're not a minority.
We're a minority in my town. We're a minority in London. 33% of London.
And what's wrong with...
And they're teachers.
Being multicultural.
Multicultural? Is it multicultural if the whole town's taken over by Islam?
It's multicultural.
It's not multicultural. No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
She's got the nose ring.
It is.
that you are the reason young English girls got raped across the UK because people are too scared to talk about it. People are too scared to talk about it because of you. Yes, they are. Because people like you make accusation of racism when you don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Here's a thought, right?
Here's a thought.
Go work in a school, right? Be around a diverse group of students.
I went to fucking school in Luton, you fucking moron. You fucking arsehole. Go and fuck off, you fucking little prick.
It's insane. They push that crap into their head so bad. It's ridiculous. Now, this was the House of Commons there. Watch this.
Robert General.
When Henry lay on the floor, he warned that he had been stabbed 4 times. He said that he couldn't breathe 9 times, and yet the officer chose to cuff him rather than treat him. That officer should be in court being prosecuted for a total dereliction of duty.
Yeah, her brain is fried there.
But the bigger question is this. Why do officers behave in this way? Is it because they have been taught repeatedly to elevate perceptions of ethnic minority communities over the safety of white British people? That sickness contributed.
It don't matter to them, it's about power.
To the killings of Rudacabana, of Calacone in Nottingham, and now to Digwa, is a sickness rooted in the anti-racism agenda. Will the Home Secretary root it out? Will she return to equality before the law for all? And will she say that when it comes to public safety, white lives matter just as much as anyone else's?
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me say to the honourable gentleman, I don't think this is a moment to pit white Britons against non-white Britons. This is a moment to reflect.
Illegals aren't Britons.
On a horrific tragedy. He knows full well that the IOPC is investigating the conduct of those police officers. It would be wholly inappropriate for a member of this House to seek to preempt an independent investigation into the potential misconduct of police officers. That IOPC investigation will look at individual conduct, but also what are the wider lessons
and they'll try to hide it and cover it up.
Can be learnt from this case. I will personally ensure that all lessons are learned and indeed acted upon. And let me also say it is a fundamental principle, not just of the British criminal justice system, but who and what we are as a country, that we are all equal before the law of our land. That applies regardless of the colour of your skin. That applies whether you're a non-white Brit whose family arrived here 50 years ago or 10 years ago, or if you're a white Brit whose family have been here for about 300 years or more. We are all equal before the law of our land, and we should.
Yep, that's the Labour Party for you. They still were defending it. All right, this is about a judge here. Watch this. It's a different video than I thought. All right, this is the guy that got stabbed to death.
The stars, look how they shine for you.
That's the young man that was stabbed.
Everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you.
He had a girlfriend.
Oh,
sister. That sister. I thought it was girlfriend. My bad.
And it was called Yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done.
This other one's about the judge thing.
And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin goes turning to something.
Yeah, they're supposed to do something on the 11th for him. All right, this is a message to the judge. They tried to prosecute Farage because he's a racist. Tried to prosecute him. Watch this.
So we've just learnt that a judge has tried to have Nigel Farage prosecuted for contempt of court. This is the judge that presided over the prosecution of the brothers who brutalised, the thugs who brutalised those brave police officers at Manchester Airport, and among other things, broke a brave police officer's nose. Now, Nigel's comments about that situation were it was an egregious example of two-tier justice. There were so many reasons how long it took for the prosecution to take place. The fact that the police officers themselves, one of whom, the poor policewoman, had her nose broken, were being investigated by the Complaints Commission of the police. It was an absolute disgrace. And what have we learned since? One of the brothers who brutalized those police officers has completely gotten away with it and will not face a retrial. This judge, Neil Flewitt, has presided over a catastrophic miscarriage of justice, an historic miscarriage of justice. So my message to Neil Flewitt is this, that a reformed government will remove this unfit judge from office.
Yeah, someone's saying that he should get money for the family at least. I don't know. I make the other side pay it. Take it out of their wages. All right, I'm going to bring up a little 2CTV. He was cut off, and he tried to go live later, and he could go live, but they're not playing it in England or Britain. You can't see this in Britain. Maybe, hopefully, by me playing it, it'll be seen there. Somehow they have a way that YouTube can not let it go to Britain.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2CTV. This is your global news channel. I'm Maya Tusi, and we come to you guys with the latest news update from the United Kingdom, as the body cam footage has now been released from Henry Nowak's murder, and the way the UK police responded to this attack, and of course the political scandal that is now spreading across Westminster over this, the reaction from number 10 Downing Street and the Prime Minister's office. About 5 minutes ago, we received a statement that the Prime Minister of this country does not believe that we have two-tier policing in the UK.
Bullcrap.
Henry Nowak was killed because he was white, because he was male. The police didn't care. Now, in case you don't know the story, in case you're one of the few people who haven't actually been following this around the world, I'll give you a summary. We're going to show you the body cam footage. Just a quick heads up warning. It's disturbing, of course. It's been blurred, so you won't be able to see anything graphic in that sense. But obviously, it's still disturbing. But it's very important for the truth to come out. It's very important for at least some news media outlets.
Colin, they're trying to let little tiny bits out at a time, and you got to sue them and everything to get it. And even by the time you get it, you're not really getting the full thing.
To report this properly, because all the others have been absolutely shambolic. All right. Henry Nowak. Let's talk about this young man. He was only 18 years old. He was a first-year student at the University of Southampton, studying accounting and finance. On his way home one night in December.
Good question. I've been deleting them. I could post them, John, if I'd known ahead of time. I've been deleting them as I play them, so I don't replay the same one again.
2025. He had a confrontation with Vikram Digwa, who is a Sikh. Vikram Digwa was carrying a large 21 centimeters blade openly in public. He also did have one of these small kirpan, you know, the little ceremonial knives that the Sikh would have. The first reaction when this news came out a while ago, people thought that Digwa used the kirpan, and then the political establishment's usual reaction was, oh, well, the problem was the kirpan, you know, the ceremonial knife. Well, we have to ban that. If you ban that, then everything's going to be fine. Yeah, sure, that's going to fix everything. But he was actually carrying a larger knife, and he used that. Henry was stabbed 5 times. Now, again, in case you don't know the story, you might think, okay, so this was just a confrontation. They had a fight, and 2 people, one of them stabbed the other one.
Yeah, I guess the knife he used was even longer than what they're supposed to be allowed to have. You know, it was longer and even more deadly.
Gets worse because of the racial hatred that Digwa and his family had towards white people. First things first. Vikram Digwa's brother called 999, called the police and lied. He lied that Henry Nowak attacked them first and he was racist, because in case you don't know, in the UK, saying racist things is a crime. I know, yeah. But then it gets worse than that, because his mother on the right-hand side, Kiran Kaur, she actually assisted the murderer by hiding the weapon, which was still found by the police later on in the house, because she's an idiot. She has now also been convicted, but we have to wait until, I believe, 27th of June until we receive her sentencing for assisting this. Vikram Digwa has now been sentenced to life. Now, you might wonder, well, that's good. The United Kingdom has life sentences. He's going to be in prison for the rest of his... No. Life means 21 years in prison. So the minimum term is now 21 years. And he can come out after that. Unless he does something bad in prison, then, you know, he might stay around for some more time, another few years. Then the parole board will review it again. So life in the UK does not mean life. In this case, we should also suspend the judge, William Mosley, for his pathetic 21-year sentence. Now, let's go to the footage. I'm going to show you the reaction from the political opposition parties as well, and the way the police reacted.
Yeah, I'm hearing that she might get like a probation or something, Tammy, but I'm not sure. Maybe with all this pressure, it won't happen. Words are not words. Murderous. It is.
This is vile.
I agree, Marianne.
What you're about to see. Just a heads up. Again, it's been blurred, but you can hear the conversation. Henry was stabbed. The police go to him. They handcuff him. He says, I've been stabbed. I'm bleeding. And the police says, no, you haven't. You're lying. And then he died.
She's going to get it for hiding evidence.
In the hands of the police.
And lying, perjury.
Because the police were more concerned because the brother of the attacker said, well, he said something racist to us. So the police were more concerned that Henry is white and he might have said something politically incorrect. That is a problem.
Hope I was typing.
We need to handcuff him. But somebody apparently stabbed him, but that don't worry about that. That's not really a big issue in the United Kingdom. Let's go to this video, then come back.
He was on the bin on the other side of this gate.
He's jumped over these fences and stuff like that.
And he's up here.
Away, mate.
He's obviously he's fallen from there and he slipped from there.
There's other shoes left over there, mate.
What's your name, mate? Huh?
His other shoe. The guy was trying to get away. They were trying to grab his legs as he was trying to climb over the fence, I hear, while they were stabbing him. Actually, both brothers were after him. One had the knife.
Has anyone been hurt other than him?
Yeah, me. He's grabbed my brother. He's took my turban off, started grabbing my head.
Are you injured?
Yeah, I've got swollen eye, a little bruise.
Alright, just step back a little bit for me. Someone flag these down.
If he hit him in the eye, it was in self-defense.
Right, let's get you out of there, shall we?
I was in bed asleep. Whenever just going up there, someone was attacking.
I can't breathe. Grab his other arm.
That's Henry.
What's happened to you, alright? You've been stabbed? Whereabouts? I don't think you have, mate. Hand?
I can't breathe.
Put the hand in the cuff, mate.
Says I can't breathe.
This is like the times this has happened to us. You've been walking, you parked,
Can we get a van?
people racist
90 foot.
nothing happened.
He's saying he's been stabbed, so
Where
let's
is it
just
you
check
think you've
him.
been stabbed? In the face? Oh no, but we have to check, don't we?
Right.
In the face?
Just get these to back off, get
Of course, there was no knife there anymore because the mother took it.
their details and that, and I'll keep hold of him.
Hey, Kurt!
Keep you on your side, mate. You gotta retrieve then. saying to him, I'm keeping him on his side. We were sat up when we had him here, but he didn't
What's
like it.
CCW?
What's your name, mate? At the moment, you are under arrest. That's for assault. So you do not have to say anything, may harm in defence. If you do not mention when questioned, it's up to you later line of court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, all right? He'll be sick, I think.
Yeah, I hear you.
Check. They're not even checking.
What's his name?
They just want you to call it.
To me, in terms of a court case, this is a slam dunk one.
Yeah, we've got this male. He's been beat up. Are we able to get an ambulance, please?
They're getting an ambulance for the other guy.
Reacting.
Yeah, he's dead. Vile. Absolutely vile. The fascinating thing about this has been going on for months now, right? Because of the court procedure. But then, especially the last few days, and the beginning of this is what we initially had. So, the police laughed as Henry was dying. They took his phone and his dad's phone to search for racism. That was the priority, to search for racism, right? So these are the messages.
Concealed carry.
Was the...
You can't have guns there. You at least should be able to have a knife to defend yourself.
But there were 2 999 calls from his brother. The other one...
but it was 2 against 1, too.
Was from a lady in a flat that told the police she thought somebody has been stabbed. Only 1 got reported. Took Henry's phone and his dad's, checked back through every single message to see if there had been ever a racist comment or a joke. Just the police to deal with now, and as they thought Henry was a racist.
Yeah, the cops tried to make him out as a racist somehow. They went through all his stuff, all his electronic devices.
And laugh at him when he told them he had been stabbed. They were also told by a neighbor, but believed Digwa, that have apologized, but I think there will be more to come. So, firstly, there were 2 phone calls to the emergency. One of them was from the neighbor saying somebody got stabbed. The other one was from the Digwa family saying, oh, a white person was racist towards us. The police ignored the stabbing phone call. They only addressed the one that said some white guy's being racist, apparently.
Yeah, someone reported the stabbing.
The reaction from Tommy Robinson, who's going to be, there's going to be a massive protests, by the way, being organized across the United Kingdom over the next few hours, and 2CTV will be giving you guys the live coverage from 6 p.m.
He tried to. They blocked it. England blocked it.
UK time. It is currently, if you're watching this live, 1:40 p.m. in London, in the UK. Southampton police station, outside the Southampton police station, the people responsible for this, is going to be a massive protest. Tommy Robinson is going to be there. Our team will be obviously providing you guys the live coverage as well. But Tommy's reaction, I'm going to show you now quickly, is that...
And they cut off Tommy Robinson's live.
That Henry was obviously murdered by the anti-white police's policies that target white people. Let's quickly go to
sorry, Tommy.
The murder of Henry Nowak. It took 2 minutes to go onto Hampshire Police's website. Yeah, Hampshire Police. This is where this institutional racism. This is why the white boy was handcuffed. This is why, whilst dying, this is their policies. Okay. The murder of George Floyd by serving police officers in the USA was a pivotal moment for police in the UK. How the fuck was it a pivotal moment? A dead crackhead who died of a drug overdose in the United States in a legal hold by a police officer. But anyway, driving the need for real change. Whilst a tragic event happened in another country, policing across the UK has over many years had a strained relationship with some communities. Nationally, the Police Race Action Plan, which is where this problem comes from, was created to address the racial disparities and distrust associated with police in particular for those in minority communities. We will pursue offenders and deal with offences that cause the most harm to our ethnic minorities. Not the most harm to the public, the most harm to our ethnic minorities. Address disproportionate victimisation. Make sure that staff and officers are trained to recognise and deal with crimes that impact most of our ethnic minorities. Do you know who the biggest impact is against? It's us. How many ethnic minority girls were raped from one end of the country to the other? I'll tell you how many, not fucking many. It was all young white English girls, right? And you didn't charge any one of those people who raped them, calling them dirty little white bitches, with a hate crime.
Yep.
Why was this Sikh man not charged with a hate crime? He made it about race when he rang the police and said white boy, and he accused him of racism. So it was a racial murder. That's what this was. He was racially targeted by that man, and he was murdered, and your police officers done nothing because he was white, because you were so scared of this. So the officer who handcuffed him, the officer ignored his plea after plea after plea for an ambulance. He's been stabbed. They fucking ignored him. Would they ignored him if he was non-white? You bet your life they wouldn't have, because their training wouldn't have allowed them to. This all comes down to police training, government training. The hierarchy of the police, the head of that police is responsible. Your hands are dirty because you created
I live in upstate New York. It's tough to get. Not just the handcuffing officer, you, the government, Keir Starmer, every one of you brought in these policies that attack white people. That's what it is. This is an attack. This is not the white population. You know, for years, so if you look at education, white working class are the biggest underachievers. Now, minority groups are excelling whilst our children, and I used to put it down to them being forgotten and neglected. We're not forgotten and neglected. We're targeted by every government institution with hate against us. An unfair system has been created. An unfair system of funding, an unfair system of love, care, of everything. And it's against white people. And that is why Henry Nowak is dead, because he was white. So from when he was stabbed to when they actually got the ambulance, an hour against all of his pleas. An hour. You murdered him. He was murdered. Now, this isn't the moment for real fucking change. In that hour, they could have gotten a tube down in there and drained off the blood and then taken him into surgery to repair it. Put him on some oxygen as well. He wasn't getting any oxygen.
Not George Floyd, a dead crackhead in America. A little white boy student with no criminal record who was a loving kid is who's dead. Not criminal. You killed him. You killed him, but just going through this website just infuriates me. It fucking infuriates you. Read what they're doing to us. I'll be there tonight, 6 p.m. at Southampton Police Station to report as people are coming out to show their outrage at what this police force has allowed. This is a police force which tied the hands behind the back of a dying little white kid because of their diversity training. That is why. Because they're scared all the time. This has got to be a moment for change, man. But see you at 6 p.m. whoever's going there.
And if you want change, change has to be drastic. This is not reactionary. People like myself have been calling for proactive change. And change means, firstly, the system must completely be reformed in terms of sentencing. That's the first one. The judge still had powers, but the judge decided to be lenient with 21 years term. The police officers who claim to be scared of their politically correct trainings and restrictions and regulations.
And threw it on the ground?
Change all that, but at the same time, the police who keep telling us that...
So, Colin, you say that the cops there seen the murder weapon, huh? Before the mother took it and hit it?
Well, if there is more scrutiny on our police officers, then they can't do
there would be blood or DNA on that murder weapon.
their job, because they will be scared that if they mess up somewhere, then they will be in trouble. Yes. If somebody's life is about to be lost, I don't really care about your job being at risk. You should be punished. You can't just say, whoopsie, we didn't see that he was bleeding. It's not really a whoopsie. It's not like you're reversing your car and you just a little bit bump into some other car. Yeah, that's a bit of a whoopsie. When people die, that whoopsie is big. The police officer should not just be sacked. They should be prosecuted. They should be sentenced. And they need to learn. Others need to learn. You need to be on your toes every single day. And you say, well, we're already restricted. Yes, good. You should be even more restricted. You need to know that if you mess up, you will be punished. Another reaction is from the leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage. Let's quickly go to him.
He was actually treated in a way that meant an accusation of a racial slur was treated more seriously than an act of murder. What does he say? I can't breathe. Familiar words? Remember career criminal George Floyd, who died in appalling circumstances in Midwest America a few years ago. Remember the reaction to that and the way the police behaved. Within a few days, Keir Starmer was taking the knee. Black Lives Matter exploded all over the country. Churchill's statue was defaced. The cenotaph was vandalized. And yet, what has the public reaction been from our leaders and politicians? And indeed, to be frank,
he's trying to be a bit politically correct.
Much of the media to this.
More than I'd rather.
Silence.
Like it.
Absolute silence.
But I know how the media over there would attack him endlessly if he said anything that they didn't like.
Proof, if ever there was any, that we're living in a two-tier culture in this country where the rights and privileges of white people...
Got to remember that the news media there is paid by the government, so they're left-wing.
...matter less than those of ethnic minorities.
But the fascinating thing about this is that it hasn't necessarily been silence from the political left. The reactionary left, guess what the reactionary left-wingers in this country have been doing over the last few days? They've been calling to ban the kirpan, the ceremonial knife.
This guy with
the left beard in this country think that the solution is to ban...
Oh, this guy here, his name's Tusi. He does Tusi TV. He's originally from Iran, but they're very conservative. A lot of the ones that have gotten out of there and are against Islam are very conservative, actually.
And the kirpan. Number one, he wasn't murdered using a kirpan.
He's kind of like as big as Benny Johnson is here. Like Benny Johnson, he's kind of big over there.
It was a bigger knife, not a ceremonial one. But the left said...
Although the English government and French government have tried to arrest him before for stuff he says online. Believe it or not, they've tried to put him in jail.
Well, it was a ceremonial knife, but he was carrying one. So if you ban the knife, then nobody will get killed. Knives don't kill people. People kill people. It's the same argument that the left used in the United States with guns. But he didn't even use a ceremonial knife. It was a 21 centimeter knife that the mother then decided to hide. Not in a competent way, because they still found the knife anyway. It's idiotic the way the left react to this. Because they don't want to target and actually focus on the criminals. They want to focus on the tool that the criminals use. In this case, they didn't even use a kirpan. But the media around the world are fascinating. Let's go to New York Times. Thanks to Benny. New York Times. 0 mentions of Henry Nowak. But George Floyd, 6,397 mentions. Priorities, right? Although, over the last few minutes, over the last couple of hours, CNN are finally reporting this. So that's a first. And some of the other media outlets in the West, CBC, I think they just did 1 page in Canada, but that was it. So well done for that. But one of the biggest scandals is also the fact that the brother of Vikram Digwa,
yeah, he's got family in Iran still. He still talks to his dad and stuff. There's family in there, so he does get information about what's going on in Iran. And I can tell you, the regime's fighting itself inside the regime, back and forth. It's bad over there.
Called 999, called the police, and lied that they were the ones attacked by Henry, and they're the victims, and he was racist, and the police believed him without even checking anything. Let's go to, we now have the audio recording of that phone call to the police.
Police emergency.
Yeah, we just been attacked by someone racially. Yeah, that's
right.
He just attacked it, took his assault.
How did he attack you? You were the ones that were chasing him down the street and up over the fence, stabbing him. How in hell did he attack you? Liars.
Huh? Sorry, we just got attacked racially.
He's saying we. It was him and his brother. There was 2 of them against one. And the brother's kind of getting off with nothing.
Actually by some white person.
Right, okay. Whereabouts are you?
We're on Belmont Road.
Just out in the street, are you?
Sorry?
You're just in the street.
Yeah, literally, I just parked on my car to come home, and he's attacked my brother.
Wow. The police ignored the other phone call, which is interesting, right? By the neighbor saying that Henry was stabbed. The police in Hampshire also posted this statement, which they have now deleted, which is very, very convenient, saying our officers were misled at the scene, including denial of weapon use. They quickly switched to life-saving aid within minutes. But as laid out in our statement, the medical evidence shows that the injuries were not survivable. A very sad case. Our thoughts are with his family. Well, they've now deleted that because the evidence is out. You did not do, what do they call it? Life-saving aid within minutes. Henry was begging you that he couldn't breathe and he was attacked, he was stabbed, and your officers were laughing, saying, no, you haven't. Where was this life-saving first aid or whatever? They had to delete this now because it was embarrassing. It gets worse. Over the last few hours, we received a statement from the Digwa family, the family of the murderer. They are asking for privacy, ladies and gentlemen. They are asking for privacy.
Really?
Saying, the loss of a young life is a grief that no family should ever have to carry. We are deeply sorry for the pain and suffering the Nowak family has had to endure. We love Vikram. We will continue to love him. That love does not stand in opposition to the sorrow we feel for the Nowak family. Both are real and both will remain with us for the rest of our lives. We would give anything to turn back time.
Your two sons murdered the other kid.
So the path of both Henry and Vikram never crossed that night. We cannot change what has happened. We just hope that no further pain is caused in its name. We apologize to the Sikh community for our son's actions, which have unfairly brought the community into disrepute. We ask that this tragedy is not used by
The dude was in trouble before. They should have kept him in jail.
anyone to inflame division.
Well, actually, they should have kicked him out of the country.
Or hostility towards any community. We now ask for privacy as we come to terms with what lies ahead. Thank you, Digwa family. The same family that lied to the police and hid the weapon and didn't do anything to help Henry, did the exact opposite. They now want privacy, guys. Interesting. This is not a normal situation where one member of the family does something bad and the rest of them are innocent, like, oh, we haven't done anything. You're all complicit. What is this nonsense? Filth, absolute filth. Henry's father, with the rest of Henry Nowak's family, also came out outside the court to make a short statement. Let's quickly go to him.
I am Henry Nowak's father. To my left is my daughter Olivia Nowak, Henry's older sister, and to her left is Lucy Ross, Henry's Nowak's mother. The jury confirmed what we've always known. Henry's life was taken from him unlawfully, violently, and without justification. Henry was 18 years old. He was kind, ambitious, loved, and full of promise. He had his whole life ahead of him, a degree to finish, places to see, and a future to build. That future was stolen from him, and no verdict or sentence will ever give it back. Henry did nothing wrong. He was one of the kindest, friendliest, and most inclusive people you could ever hope to meet. He was amazing in every way. On the 3rd of December last year, Henry was walking home from a night out with his university football teammates when he encountered Vikram Digwa, a man openly carrying a large knife on the streets of Britain. That knife was used to take Henry's life. He should have been safe walking home.
Oh, but they have gun control, right?
Instead, he became another young life lost to the brutal reality of knife crime in this country. Henry had been stabbed multiple times, and as his chest filled with blood, he tried to escape. He was chased, abused, and filmed by Vikram Digwa and others. When police arrived, Henry was lying on the floor, barely able to sit up and plainly in severe medical distress. With his final words, he told officers that he could not breathe. He told them he had been stabbed.
Now, I've seen some leftists there, I guess, are attacking this dude here, calling him a racist, the dad, for doing this statement. There's some leftist in England attacking him.
In fact, Henry told officers that he could not breathe 9 times. He told them he had been stabbed 4 times. The response from one officer was, "I don't think you have, mate."
And they were laughing.
The police have said they were misled by the murderer and that the scene when they arrived was complex. Unfortunately, it seems to us the truth is much simpler.
Well, the cops are that way too because they believe in this whole racist thing. You can't be a racist. Or you can only be a racist if you're white. You can't be a racist the other way.
The police were told by our son himself and by a member of the public who called 999 that they heard someone shout that they had been stabbed. But the police did not believe them.
Yeah, I know.
Henry was pulled across the gravel, his hands...
No one's seen him for over an hour after the stabbing. No one treated him for over an hour.
...forced behind his back, and he was placed in handcuffs.
There's more videos to come out.
Instead of being treated as a dying victim, police formally arrested Henry for assault and read him his rights.
Yeah, and there was, like Tammy was saying, there was blood all over.
That was the last thing he heard. Henry did not die with dignity. He did not die with the care he deserved. He lost consciousness before anyone believed him. Let me be absolutely clear. We hold Vikram Digwa solely and 100% responsible for the brutal murder of our son. But Henry should not have died on the street.
And the only reason for it was because of his race.
Of Southampton in police custody. The way he was treated was inhumane and degrading. His murder, however, was afforded decency. He was believed. He was not handcuffed when arrested. He was not handcuffed when transported to the police station. As far as we understand, he was never handcuffed at all. And, as Vikram Digwa himself told the court, whilst under arrest for Henry's murder, police even took him to the kitchen so he could choose his food. The contrast is unbearable.
Yeah, I agree. It's sad. It's sick. And he's
Insane,
only
right?
18. I'm going to run out of time, so I want to play one more video that I wanted to make sure I got on here. There's a couple, like 4 or 5 actually. But
can we get now to Henry Nowak, who is a teenager who was bleeding out of his own body whilst being handcuffed by cops because they believed his murderer that a racial slur.
I should be on at 5 tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be working late or anything. So I should be on at 5 tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Had been made. Now, there's a few things to unpick here. I don't think anyone should be cuffed or arrested for hurty words, even if it's a disgusting racial slur. What does this case tell us about the culture of British policing?
Again, I think it's another a good example, good not being perhaps the best description, but, you know.
And the cops tried to find some type of racial thing in all his prose and everything in his history, and they could not do it.
It's a very pertinent example of how this progressive discrimination is playing out. The presumption, I think it was 3 women officers came to the scene and found Nowak on the ground. And the presumption in their minds was the white guy must be guilty. Yeah. And when the Sikh guy with his kirpan accused him of racist comments, well, that was enough because hurty words have now become the new criminal what the police are targeting is criminality. And Hertie, he didn't apparently say anything racist, by the way.
No.
But even if he had, even if he'd said repugnant things, abhorrent things that you and I would find unacceptable in polite society, that is no excuse to get a knife out and stab the guy. And the police, having been confronted by Nowak, having seen Nowak on the ground pleading for them to look at his wounds and for protection, they should have done something in his favor. In fact, I understand they laughed at him. And that is just, that is repugnant. That is repugnant, that they laughed at this man who was who died a few moments later.
It also demonstrates the selective...
Yeah, they were laughing at him because they were saying that he couldn't be hurt because he was the racist.
Moral blindness of the woke left, doesn't it? And how unempathetic these people are, Ben, that you can be so blinded by ideology that you don't notice or won't acknowledge a man literally bleeding out of his own body who says, I can't breathe, who says that he's been stabbed. Their answer, I don't think...
He was just out of high school.
So.
Yeah, and, where does this head? This heads to what I would loosely define as a native population in the United Kingdom that is going to kick off against the institutions that govern it if the institutions don't get a grip themselves. The institutions, our government, need to wake up to the very serious damage that's taken place. Otherwise, the people will eventually take matters into their own hands, and that won't be good for anyone.
The whole government there is, Tammy, a disgrace. All right, I'll catch everyone tomorrow. Thank you all. Want to comment here? The whole government is there. All right, so I'll catch you all tomorrow. Thank you. Sorry I wasn't on yesterday. I tried to be, but I ran too late.